Hi, this is Mark from LongIslandWatch.com, and today we're going to be looking at some Laco timepieces. The Laco timepieces you see in front of you were released mostly this year, 2016, around the time of Basel World. They are all certainly new to us. We've had them in the store for a couple of months. I wanted to do a quick video just to introduce the models to you. A few months ago, we did an overall Laco video, which we covered all the basic Fliegers, your Type A's, your Type B's, the different dials, the different movements, the Japanese movement-based models, the Swiss-based models, and gave you a whole overview of that. So you may want to go back and check out that video. Here we're not covering many of the traditional pilot's watches. Laco names most of their models, so I wanted just to go over the names with you quickly, show you what models I got here. The Monte Carlo, the Engadine, the Burn, and the Palermo. Interestingly enough, this one over here, for some reason, never got a name. They just call it the Black Automatic. So because it's the lonely child with no name, I'm going to start off with it. Also because I think it is one of the runaways. So this is a automatic-based model. It's got what they call the Laco 21 movement in it, which is basically a Miyota 821A. It's model 861610. I'll move these other guys out of the way. And what this is the same basic case style as the other Fliegers, the 42mm Fliegers. They've just changed the dial and changed the hands, so you can see how reflective it is. Laco 1925 is on the dial just like they do on the Miyota-based versions. So this watch has the Laco 21 movement, which is the Miyota 821A. It's a hand-winding movement. It does not hack, but people do like to back hack it just by holding the minute hand back a bit, but applying a little back pressure, you can get the seconds hand to stop. Anyway, it's very simply done. It's close to being a Type A dial with just the hours around the dial, no minutes. It's a satin case, stainless steel, nice lugs. Takes a 20mm strap. It does have a sapphire crystal upgrade like the rest of the 42mm Fliegers that I had showed you in the other video. A pop back, so your water resistance, if you were following the Watch and Learn series, the water resistance is a mere 5 atmospheres, not that much. So size is 42mm in diameter. It is 12mm thick, and the tip-to-tip dimension is around 49mm, just short of 50. Comes on this nice thick leather strap. It is gray in color, not almost gray, it's gray in color with matching stitching. Satin buckle, signed. Nice sword hands, good luminous hands. I'll flip the lights out. Hopefully it's dark enough in here. It is. That is beautiful lume. You can really see it well. And it's priced right too. I'll put links to the products down below. This is, I believe, between $300 and $400. So made in Germany. You got that on the bottom, you see it? So it's made in Germany with a Japanese movement. Nicely done. Okay, so then we'll move on to the Engadine. And I hope I'm saying the names correctly. This is a Ronda-based chronograph. It's got the 3520D, as you can see it right here, model 86-1976. So it's the same actual case as this one, so the same sizes apply. I have the crown pulled. The same sizes apply, 42mm, 12mm thick. It's just shy of 50 tip to tip. This is now a beautiful corrugated dial with brown highlights to match the strap, which I think is really nicely done. Made in Germany, again, Laco signing, has the date. This is a chronograph, so you'd start it with this pusher and the seconds hand will go. And the bottom subdial is running seconds. At the top is elapsed time. It's actually a 12-hour elapsed time meter. So if you can see, there's actually two hands there. There you go. So you can see the hour hand for the elapsed time is closer to the dial, and the minute hand is above. So that will that'll record time up to 12 hours. It's a nice PVD case. This does also come in a plain, just three-handed quartz variety. This is around the same price as the one I showed you before, the automatic, because now we're chronograph, a little more complicated, a little more case design to it. Look at that though. It's really sharp looking, the black and the brown. Solid case back, mineral crystal. Still no real water resistance to speak of. Beautiful strap with the matching buckle. And it looks like the minute counter will index in a second, so if we watch it, you should see that larger hand move a bit. There we go, it just clicked over. Did you see it? I moved it just so the second hand won't be in the way. But now the index for the minute is now over 1 point. So if I stop it, and then reset it, everything goes back to 0. Oh, look at that. I didn't even know that was going to happen. It's going to go all the way around the horn back to 0. I had assumed it would fly back to 0. It didn't. It actually goes all the way forwards. Anyway, like I said, this is it's a corrugated looking dial. It's got the lines in it to look like corrugated sheet metal from an old airliner, an old warplane. And these are just brown numbers. There's no lume. So this is not a good watch to wear at night if you want to see the time. But still, just very nice, sporty chronograph. You know, great pilot's watch alternative. So I'm going to go, I'll just do the next chronograph. This is the same, everything is the same. So it's the same size spec, same movement. The strap is different. The dial is a white corrugated now instead of that black corrugated. But everything else is the same, made in Germany. Very nice distressed strap, thick. Well, you know, all these are thick straps. Just a really nice strap, and to kind of contrast off against that corrugated dial. This one, though, will have a little bit of lume. You can definitely see the hands are lumed to help you tell the time. Glows like a flashlight, actually. And the second hand on the chronograph is also lume, but that's it. Nothing else is lume, so you're not going to really tell the time, tell elapsed chronograph time with this. Again, around the same price, a little less expensive than the Engadine because it is no PVD treatment to the case. This is the 86 1974, the Burn. And then, almost lastly, second to last, because I'm saving the big guy for last, the Laco Palermo. They make this in the A dial and the B dial variants. This is the model 86 1966. This is the same movement as the first one I showed you. This is the Miyota 821A. Automatic, self-winding, Japanese movement. Citizen owns Miyota, or manufactures Miyota. Made in Germany. Has this nice black leather strap with the contrast orange stitching. I didn't even have to say the orange writing on the dial because I'm sure that was the first thing your eyeballs popped to. Made in Germany, but just this great, you know, different take on a classic. Most of your Fliegers are generally black numbers with very visible white numbers. In this one here, we've gone to this nice orange, and they've brought it through to the strap, which is very well done. You can hear me winding the movement. This is the B dial. It also comes in an A dial variant, which is just the hours around the outside. Same watch. Again, 42 millimeters, 13 millimeters thick, around 50 tip to tip. And now again here, there's no real lume to speak of. Honestly, I can't even tell if there is lume because when I shut out the lights, it's barely there. It might just be the camera picking up the paint reflection. I'm going to harbor a guess and say that there's really no lume here. This is more look over function. But wow, what a look. Really looks great. Still very affordable, between $300 and $400, for this made in Germany automatic Flieger. Okay, and then lastly, I wanted to bring this one up. This is the Monte Carlo. And you can tell probably by looking at it, if you're into watches, that this is the most expensive of the bunch. This is the 86 1815. Has the Laco 50 movement, which most of you will know as the Valjoux 7750. This is an automatic chronograph. It retails for around $1,500. You will notice, and this is true with all Laco mechanical chronos, the day wheel is in German. They do not make them with English wheels. Being a German company, they're very proud of that fact, and the days are always in German. So you may have to figure out, you know, your days of the week in German, and once you do, you'll be good to go. So this is a larger watch. This is going to come on a 22 millimeter strap, and the case itself is more of a 44. And because it's housing that monstrous Valjoux movement, we're looking at around 17 millimeters thick. And tip to tip, surprisingly, even though it's a little bit larger watch, the lugs really curve down. Can you see that? So it's actually the same size tip to tip, which is quite amazing. I'm going to just stack one of these up against it, one of the 42s. So if you look, they're almost the same size. Really is amazing. And the lugs here certainly curve down to conform to the wrist. So this is a mechanical chronograph, automatic. So it hand winds, hacks. It's a solid presses to get the pushers to work. Snapback action, running subdial at 9 for the seconds, elapsed minutes at the top, elapsed hours at the bottom. Definitely have loom here. No question about it. See-through case back. You can see that Valjoux in action, although most of it's covered up by that tremendous rotor. But you can get a feel for it, and you can see it, and it's really cool looking. Screw down case back, obviously all sapphire, 5 atmospheres, water resistance. Comes on this nice, black, heavy-duty black strap with the white stitching, satin buckle. Now the Monte Carlo was actually meant to replace the keel, which is the 86 1715, I believe. And when they came out with this in Basel and said they were going to discontinue the keel, I think a lot of people got up in arms and said, well, the keel is like our bestseller. Why would you do that? So they kept the keel alive, and you can still order the keel at the same price. But they've also added the Monte Carlo to the mix. And the only difference between the two, I don't have a keel with me, they are on the website, is it's got less color. The red second hand is different, but pretty much just the same exact watch. So what I like to do is I'm just going to do a couple of wrist shots. Like I said, they all are the same size watch, so I'm just going to try on a couple of them. And you can see how they look on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. The first one up is that Laco Classic Black. Fits me excellent. I don't have large wrists. For those of you who have never watched a video with me before, I have around a 6 3/4 inch wrist. Works perfect. Being a pilot's watch with no bezel around the periphery, they do give the sense of being a larger watch than they actually are. A dive watch at 42 would not look this large on my wrist, but I still think this fits comfortably. The lugs go right to the edge, and the strap comes down. The strap's not sticking out. Here's the Palermo with that nice orange accented dial. Again, same case size. Fits great. Here is the Engadine. Again, the strap on this one is so comfortable. It's so soft. But being the same size, it fits the same. I guess you guys also might all see that I wear my watches below the bone on my wrist. I always have. I usually wear them loose. Obviously, if I pushed it up, the fit's even better. But I always wear them down. That's just the way I do it. And the last one I want to do is the Monte Carlo. Now, although the lug-to-lug is about the same as the others, I don't know, it still actually fits the wrist. I just feel it's probably just a little bit too big for me. I do wear larger watches. I wear 43s, 44s, but I do feel this one is a trifle too large. So this has been Mark from LongIslandWatch.com showing you a handful of new Laco watches. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to our channel if you have not done so yet. If you have any questions or comments, please put them down below, and I will be sure to address them as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.